Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Mike, if I would have told you however long ago when we started this that the end of this would be a guy going, maybe the world isn't so bad, and then ending with everyone he knew for the past 2 months clapping and saying, my God, he might understand life is okay.
Let me just read the synopsis. The beast that shouted, I, at the heart of the world. The Human Instrumentality Project continues as mankind attempts to complete its existence. Shinji continues to struggle with the impact of his personal existence and eventually views a world resembling a lighthearted, comedic high school setting in which he is not an Evangelion pilot. Shinji, now understanding that his existence is not fixed, destroys the constrictive shell which he had formed around himself. He is met by all the other characters from the series who applaud and congratulate him, and in response, he thanks them all. So now I understand why End of Evangelion exists. We're still not there yet, but this was the dictionary definition of the conclusion of a 26 episode animated television series in Japan.
Yep. The show ended. This is an ending episode. It's done. The series concluded.
Nothing else happened. No other movies exist. No retellings, no mangas, no PS2 dating sim games. Nothing.
Imagine being a child in 1990 watching this, and it ends on that.
I think the last couple episodes will just go completely over their heads.
Will they even want to watch it? They're like, just like, can we just turn on Power Rangers, or I guess in their case, Super Sentai? This is depressing. I'm not ready to talk about this stuff yet.
We'll get into some of the heavier stuff in a minute, but I'm not gonna lie. There were moments with like the sketchy drawings that made me laugh and wonder, is this where the budget dried up?
I don't know. I mean, that could be artistic integrity. I get to the point of where they're getting to the base of what makes a person a character, and using concept art could be a really cool way to do that, because that's literally in animation standards. If we're going by dictionary definitions today, baby, they start with the concept art.
And it looked good. I mean, I admire the artistic direction that it went with, but I don't know what to say. When it's switched over from existentialist and crisis mode to what if Evangelion was more like a traditional super robot show, like something like Ghetto Robo, even though Ghetto Robo gets super dark depending on which iteration you watch, or like throw another quarter in a jar, Die Guard. If it was more like that, and then it's like, is this pulling a Doki Doki Literature Club? Are we like, I'm waiting for the hammer to drop and for the existential horror to set back in, and then it's like, you know what? Life is how I make it. Congrats. That's it. And then it's like, I kind of grew to hate the opening of the show. Like, I love it, but it's also like, no, you're not the same show anymore.
They have a really good version of it toward the end there, because that is Cruel Angel Cisa slowed down to be happier. And like I tell everyone that Cruel Angel's Thesis is the most out of place opening of a show I might have ever heard in my entire life.
Especially towards the latter half of the series.
Yeah. I mean, like, it makes sense, but, like, it's poppy and jazz and got the mad sax going in the background, and it's just like, I've watched this show halfway through in a day with a friend before, and we stopped at the lava episode. And, like, he wants to finish it. And this is on top of another guy who wants to watch it all in a day because, like, it's whatever we're doing for review show. I said I want to watch it with them. I'm just like, one wants to watch it all day. The other one wants to catch the latter half, and they start getting screwed up right after that. And I'm trying to... No one ever believes me when I say that this show doesn't just take a left turn. It turns into a plane and takes off.
Yep.
It's not even going to the same planet anymore.
We're going to take this plane and fly to Pluto, baby.
Yeah, and it's like they go to a different planet every episode in the last, like, 5 episodes.
It's like they built up so much, and then it's like, oh, we can't do anything like that.
Well, the weird part is they built it up and then ended what they had built up, but had some other things that they mentioned and are like, we never tied those up yet.
It's like it's like someone took like the wrong, like either the wrong script or the wrong finished episode, like animation. Like they sent that in by mistake one night when, like, the team went out to lunch, and then they come back, what the hell is this? Otto, what is this?
You know, every time I see this, you want to know what this reminds me of? The very last episode of Teen Titans.
Oh, yes.
I was going to bring that up.
He just goes off into a white light. Maybe Tara's alive. I don't know. Happiness can be found somewhere. The show's done? Well, shit.
I think they were cut off because they didn't know they were about to get canceled.
Yep.
So I still stand by, if that last episode did not air, nobody would be asking for a Teen Titans revival. But they let that last episode go. And now it's like,
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
But
well, you know what I mean. It's like
it does help that they had a stinger like that with really good stuff, but that's because the show was written well.
Yeah, no, this show, like I said, in some ways, I would, like I said, when they go to the school slice of life thing, and Ray actually has more than one personality trait, it's like I'm waiting for the ball to drop again because something's about to happen, but then it's like they play it long enough to be like, oh, why can't the show be like this? And is this just like Anno dealing with something personal? Because it's like, thank you, Father, farewell, Mother, and to all the children, congratulations.
Well,
and it's like
I am wondering, like, specifically what happened in his life that sent him down the spiral.
And
like, did he lose his mom? I guess, because like I could see that being the case. I mean, I have no idea.
I have not looked into it, but I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I'm going to take this from a person that I told Mike this during the episode of Rossiu attempts suicide in Gurren. I did at one point. I got stopped by the school liaison. I left a note in my teacher's desk. It was after my parents' divorce, and I was just done. I was just done. And a lot of what happened after that, I thought everybody hated me. Everyone on the planet hated me. I could not find happiness in my life at all. And there was times, God, I still do it, where there's just like, just imagine a world where it's perfect for you. And I get that. But man, it shouldn't have been the arc of a 26-episode show where he didn't... Everybody, keep in mind, I still like this show. Yeah, but
same.
This was a conversation that where they didn't need to make an entire instrumentality project to go, maybe if I just stop hoping for the world that I could have and improve on the one that I have, things could be better. This is a thing that you had to formulate a plot around in order to, even in anime terms, not have the character have this conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like they set up so much, and then like, and then it just kind of pretzels itself into talking about it, and it's like I would have been fine with this if this was paced better. I just like from beginning to end, is this ending considered like one of the greats, or is it just kind of like one of the botched, like most botched endings in the anime? I don't know. It's like
I always see it on lists as one of the most, what do I want to say, out of nowhere and unexplained endings lists.
I have a question. Have we, prior to these last 2 episodes, even heard the term human instrumentality
Yes.
project? Okay.
They have just not even mentioned what the hell it does.
Combines every soul into one, and again, all the produced Avas never seen. Are Asuka and the blonde scientist dead? Maybe.
We don't know.
Is Asuka still wildly depressed?
Can I go home now?
I don't know if I like this ending. I don't know. Again, I feel like if they wanted to go in this, they needed to either course correct very early on, not like halfway through production, or even past that point. Because I don't know, maybe I just expect too much from giant robot shows. Like, shouldn't this end with like, I don't know, some big super angel or something? Or
it's weird
something?
Because like it's been a couple of episodes outside of like Shinji crushing the last angel where you actually had like an angel fight.
Yeah, no. Well,
how much of that is because of Gynex's lack of budget?
Well, it's like
know.
I think what annoys me so much about this is, what was that last one? Armisail, the ring one that would like shapeshift and like turn Unit Zero into a pregnant Sonic fan art character. It's like that one was such a like, boop, that's it. That's the fight. Really? You had an angel go like get super close. This one didn't even get close. And then you have the human angel, and then it just ends. It's very, I don't know. I feel disappointed. I don't know. I don't know if I was expecting to get mad.
I think what the weird thing is, and I think for the most part, for what you guys can agree with me, is that never in the show, at least to me in the times that I've watched it, has it seemed like we need to fix Shinji. It was, things are trying to destroy the Earth, and we're looking for the mystery behind the angels and Zile and all this stuff. And then it leads to an entire project built around making a happy world for Shinji.
In a I don't want to say in a perfect series, but in a series that is that has a better idea of how it gets from point A to point B, fixing Shinji would be just as important to saving the world as, well, saving the fucking world.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Put another 0 next to the counter. Gurren Lagann, as crazy as it got in the second half, at least it got from point A to point B. Like, it escalated, so point B was more like point Z.
Yeah.
But they at least knew how to get there.
Yeah.
It's just that there happened to be, way beyond the cosmos.
The cosmos. And then it ended back as simplicity. And it's just like the weird thing. It's great. It's just it's the problem with a person changing their mind halfway through something. And it's the weird part where it wasn't like a studio forced a dude to change something. Like, this guy had very different ideas for what he wanted in a show. And it's just like, I've heard people say it's like, no, you don't understand. This is what it was from the start. I'm like,
I find that hard to
Are you
believe.
sure about that?
I find it hard to believe that's what
receipts,
they wanted.
place them in my hand, and I will believe you. Please. I've got plenty of time.
And then I have two more questions. Well, the question of what happens in End of Evangelion we'll get to when we review that movie. But the other question I had is, well, whose idea was, like, who came up with the rebuild films? Was that Anno, or was Anno kind of Godfather 3'd into overseeing that?
I would like to know that too, because it's like he went back to this story multiple times. There's the little changes that you see in that
The
True Death Square thing, and then again with Evangelion. And I was awaiting for a few things to happen in this last episode, and they never happened. And then I was like, oh no. Some of this stuff is from End of Evangelion that I'm thinking about. And something must have happened, because this isn't like a Promised Neverland Season 2 situation where after the third episode, everything just went... And even the creators were like, just like, screw it, we're not doing... No.
Yeah.
Put us on Shadow
served
Houses.
as the writer and general manager of the project, with Kazuya Tsurumaki and Miyazaki directing the films themselves. Returned to provide character designs, mechanical designs, and music respectively. He still wrote them and was the general manager on the project for them.
I'm not sure what a general manager is in terms of like its American equivalent, but yeah, it sounds like he was more involved than not.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it begs the question of like, are the rebuild films because he wanted to come back, or Gynek was like, we don't have any money, but Ava is still popular, so make with the Ava.
I don't know. What I'm looking at, again, this is on Wikipedia, everybody, so hold your britches on what can be edited here. Anno initially began working on rebuild films in the fall of 2002.
Wow.
Spending nearly 6 months on a pre-production before being delayed by various other projects such as Cute Honey, Re-Cute Honey OVA, and a few other movie roles, included watching an entire original series back-to-back in December of 2006 with the issue of New Type Anno revealed. He was happy with finally recreate Ava as he wanted it to be in the beginning, and was no longer constrained by technological and budgetary limitations.
All right, that puts things into perspective.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
if that's really what happened, I mean...
It's his way from the start without budget restrictions and technological restrictions. So in other words, animation technology restrictions. So this is his baby, how he wanted it from the start without money limit.
Also, have you noticed the runtime for 3.1?
Holy Jesus.
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta see. Boy!
Yeah, for those who haven't read the article, it's 155 minutes.
There is theoretically 457 minutes of pure uncut childhood trauma out of those 4 movies.
Yep.
Oh man, like, I don't know if I can go. I mean, I will come back for these.
We are committed.
We're committed. This is the most. We're going to be in Happysville, USA, with the other stuff that we got planned going on from this. man, like even slightly sad thing that I want to do in the future is nothing compared to how sad this got.
No,
but oh boy,
when we get to Die Guard, man, I'm gonna be like, see, this is what I kind of want with my robot anime. I was rewatching a few episodes and I was like immensely enjoying it more. I even watched a clip that just made me laugh out loud, hard, just because it was just like, it's a giant robot show. Screw it, do something stupidly awesome. And
yeah, and it was made by Anno's old studio, Studio Kara, and founded by Anno in 2006. Huh. Yeah. You people are gonna find it weird that we almost said nothing about this episode. I legitimately don't know what to say. I always tell people the concept of how this ends is more interesting than like watching the episode, because I just I could explain this entire episode in one thing. They could bind everyone into one being, and then at the end, Shinji realized that he could be happy in his life.
So it just,
and then he broke the limiter.
It just seems like
Shinji broke his AT field, and now he's happy.
Yep.
But this is so much. Gendo still has the fetus in the hand. The
doesn't matter. Shinji's happy. Shinji's happy.
The multiple produced Avas.
Shinji is happy. Stop it.
What do you mean there are no angels?
We got another one.
No, it's at least it's an interesting one.
Shinji's happy, damn it.
At least I'll say that it's just like more interesting than like how a lot of terrible anime that go bonkers and then just in like garbage and like X-Arm. Oh, I can't wait until we get to do X-Arm. Just it's an ending, I guess. I respect the message. That's about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So to wrap up my thoughts on the 26 episodes referred to as Neon Genesis Evangelion, all kidding aside, there is a reason why this show, and most likely Hideaki Anno, is like as critically acclaimed as it is, because it takes the relatively simple tropes of the mech genre and elevates them to another level. We have joked about the latter half because there is a lot of material to joke about, but we genuinely understand the legacy of the series.
Oh yeah, no, I could dunk on this thing all the time if I wanted to, but I still enjoyed it. It's still very important. We wouldn't have a slew of anime trying to copy Evangelion if this show was just a dime in the ocean of robot shows.
That it's one of, if not the first one, where it went, wait, we can have an interesting storyline going on in the background of the giant robot fights. I'm going to try my version of that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite version of anime. Like Chaotic Century with Zoids. Darling in the Franxx to a lesser extent, because that show kind of didn't know what it wanted to be at points, but it sticks the landing at the end, at least in my opinion. Again, my God, I got to mention it one last time. Gurren, for crying out loud. It's a good chunk of the Gundam shows. Freaking Gunbuster came out before that, so really can't say that. Yeah. But it started a trend of where the boo bang booms to keep people interested, but to also put the extra stuff in there. Because I have people that will not watch mech animes because they're like, it's a mech anime, I don't like giant robot fights. I'm like, there's other stuff in there. You gotta watch it.
This is the show where the stuff in the background of a mech anime is put in the foreground instead. And in the background is, oh, by the way, there's robots.
Yep.
I mean, like, Gundam did a lot of this because Gundam is always on the ever-going fight of trying to be both an anti-war show but also sell a boatload of models and action figures.
Yep.
It's always shoving but it's always like about the politics in the world, and it's just like, do we have to fight? There's no other way. Shoot the Gundam. Okay. And here it's just like, let's dive into the characters a little more. Let's forget about everything else. The world kind of got forked over. Fine. That's just background material. Let's go into the psyche of what would it actually be like if a 14-year-old got forced into a job he didn't want.
The world's about to end. And how does that make you feel?
Terrifying? Existential dread?
Absolutely.
You're
It's a
perfect
lot of
to
things.
pilot the robot. Now get in the robot.
Get in there. You have a metric load of trauma. Get in the robot. It's child-sized for adults. Get in the robot.
Eat a donut. Shit.
Eat a donut, Chichi, in New Orleans.
I watched a little bit of that before we got to this. So.
Yes, that video is amazing.
It's so good.
It's so good. For again, people that don't know, I'll have it linked in episodes past. A person made up a quote unquote lost 4 Kids opening for Neon Genesis, and it's awesome.
I think
Awesome.
if 4Kids ever tried to be like, hey, what about this newfangled Evangelion? Let's see what it's like. I think every suit in the room would just open the window, RoboCop style, and just.
Oh yeah.
But, we're not touching this.
Yeah. We technically have 5 movies. No, 6.
So we've got Death and Rebirth.
Yeah.
We've got End of Evangelion. And what else besides
you have 1, 2, 3,
and 3.1,
and then 3.0 plus 0.1.
Oh wait. Oh. Okay.
That's what it's technically called.
Yeah. Instead of saying 4, they had to get artsy with it. No.
Yeah, it's hold on, let me get to exactly. Evangelion 1.0, you are brackets not alone. Evangelion 2.0, you can bracket not advance. 3.0, you cannot brackets not redo. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, thrice upon a time.
Yep.
And again, this is 457 minutes of the theatrical versions, but 464 minutes uncut.
Yes.
Bring it.
Yeah, seriously.
I've went through wars at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad I rewatched the show. I mean, I think I would have stopped collecting the DVDs back in the day, but
Yep.
No, seriously, this was like a very memorable experience, and I'm glad I got to do it with you too.
Yeah, same. This was fun.
One thing I have to tell you is, I'm pretty sure that if we put this on the site, you're going to be the one writing show notes for it. So, have fun.
Oh boy.
I'm too busy editing the animation podcast. Peace out.
I'm gonna have fun with this.
Oh, I know you will. Oh boy. So yeah. Anyways, we're approaching the half an hour mark. I'm happy that we got through this. I truly am, because there's stuff to remember about why I appreciate certain things, and it's like, if not that Shinji had a good mental capacity of things, one thing that I can say that the last episodes of this show did is to show to the nth degree how bad a person can get if they have a self-destructive worldview. I will give it that. There are people that I know, and as I mentioned in this, I got to a point of where I just thought the whole world sucked that I didn't want to be there. And there is a person who, I'm going to mention it one more time before we go. Good old Gurren, you get a grit your teeth moment where someone does eventually give you the sock to the jaw, however it may come, that you need to kind of get out of the funk that you're in. It doesn't work on everyone, but it can show that if you don't attempt to work towards that, that it can get that bad. So I will give it the credit that it needs for what, in my mind, Otto decided he wanted to show halfway through the show. But all right. Any last words from anyone for the main series?
I'll save my thoughts for the movies, but right. I've kind of said my piece on the series already.
Okay.
Yeah, I still liked it. Don't think I quite cared about how it ended, but just if you're having a tough time, I'm just gonna quote the title 2 of the final episode. Take care of yourself. That's really. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm saying that right now, of course. Should be obvious. I have a Promare poster behind me. That should be.
That just means you got good taste.
Yeah. But just take care of yourself. That's really just in this chaotic world. It's chaos. Be kind. So.
Yes.
And honestly, if you can afford it, therapy 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Absolutely. Even if you can't afford therapy, there are some people, I guarantee you, there's a person that is in your friend group that would be willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
There is someone. Yeah. You might not realize it, but look for it. They are always there. So, yeah. All right. So for the main series, one last time, Cameron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/CamsEyeView or at CamsEyeView. I have a website called CamsEyeView.biz where I review animated films and shows called The Other Side of Animation. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. I am also the co-host of the Renegade Animation Podcast for RenegadePopCulture.com. That's where you can find me.
All right, Mike.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also give us a review on Podchaser. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at RenegadePopCulture.com. You need to escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. I don't know how to cut this off, so I'm just going to cut it off how I do all of my streams. This concludes our broadcast day. Click.